So I'm just going to do a really quick review of sections 1, 2, and 3 because I think it will all come back to you pretty quickly from last year. First section is about solving equations with variables on both sides. And hopefully you remember the goal is to get the variables on one side of the equation, the numbers on the other. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides to get my variables on the left. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move my numbers to the right by adding 3 to both sides. That wasn't the only thing I could do. I could also have gone the other direction, but I kind of like to keep my x's positive just because it makes life just a little easier. And my last step is I'm dividing both sides by 8, and I got an answer of 2. So hopefully you look at that and you're like, yeah, easy peasy, I got this. So go ahead and do one. Pause your video, do this question, and then turn it back on and see if you got the right answer. Did you get x is 2/3? If you didn't, pause your video again and see if you can find where your work differs from my work. Second topic is special equations, where you end up with solutions of either no real solution or all real numbers. So I've gone ahead and solved the equations because I feel like that's a part you guys know how to do. And I'm going to stop right here. The two different scenarios that you can end up with are all the variables disappear and you either end up with a false statement or a true statement. So -2 equals 3 is a false statement, -2 equals -2 is a true statement. One of those means you can't get an answer to the question. There's no solution that could make this equation true. And the other one is every single number works. So if you just take a moment and think about which you think would be which, I think you'll get there. Did you get it? It makes sense that -2 can never equal 3, so there's no way to make this equation true. Whereas -2 is always going to equal -2. Whatever you plug in, the x's will disappear, and you'll end up with a true statement. So those are the two scenarios. No real solution, and you can write the abbreviation of that, NRS, or all real numbers, ARN. And then the last section is distributive property. So I'm just going to do a quick refresher that when you see distributive property, you see a number on the outside of parentheses, and you're going to multiply that number by whatever's inside the parentheses. So you end up with 3x minus 12, and now you're right back where you were before with an equation that you can solve. This time I'm going to go to the right because I said I like to keep my x's positive. Don't forget to bring down that negative sign in front of the 12. And then I'm going to bring my numbers to the left. Because again, I like to keep my x's positive for no real reason. I divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals -8. So now you go ahead, pause your video. I made it a little harder. I put distributive property on both sides with some like terms to combine. So go ahead, pause your video, and then turn it back on to see if you got the right answer. Did you get x equals 4? If you didn't, pause your video again and see if you can see where my work differs from your work. Hopefully that came back to you pretty quickly and you'll be all set to do your homework tonight. Good luck.